Welcome to the Nightmare Vault, where every story drags you deeper into the shadows. Here, sleep is dangerous, and dreams are never safe. Tonight, the vault opens to reveal a chilling tale, Whispers in the Guesthouse. Dare to enter, if you can bear the fear. It was close to midnight when Samir finally admitted to himself that he was too tired to continue driving. The rain had turned into a steady downpour, and the highway stretched ahead in an endless ribbon of darkness. His eyelids felt heavy, his focus slipping with every mile. That was when he saw the sign. Hilltop Guesthouse, rooms available. It looked old, almost forgotten. The paint was faded, the wooden post leaning slightly, but at that moment, Samir didn't care. Sleep was all he needed. He turned off the main road and followed a winding path through tall trees that swayed in the storm. The guest house appeared at the top of a hill. Its windows glowed faintly with yellow light, promising shelter from the cold rain. The building itself was large, built in a colonial style with a wide porch and an old sign hanging above the entrance. Samir parked his car, grabbed his bag, and hurried through the rain. Inside, the place smelled faintly of dust and wood polish. The lobby was dim, lit by a single lamp on the counter. Behind it stood an elderly man, dressed neatly in a faded brown vest. His hair was white, his face lined, but his eyes were gentle. "You look tired," the man said kindly. His voice was soft, steady. "Long night on the road?" "Yes," Samir admitted. "I just need a room for the night." The old man nodded and reached for a large wooden box of keys. After a pause, he handed one over. "Room number 7, he said. "Second floor, at the end of the corridor. Try to get some rest. Don't mind the noises. This house is old." Samir gave a tired smile. "Thank you." The stairs creaked under his weight as he carried his bag up to the second floor. The corridor stretched long and narrow, lined with faded portraits and closed doors. His footsteps echoed faintly, as if the house was listening. When he unlocked room 7, he was relieved to find it clean. A single bed with crisp white sheets, a desk with an old lamp, and a tall mirror standing opposite the window. The rain tapped steadily against the glass, and the faint smell of damp wood hung in the air. Samir dropped his bag, turned off the lamp, and lay down. The mattress was firm, the pillows soft enough. He closed his eyes, ready to surrender to sleep. But then, a sound. At first he thought it was the rain, but no, it was different. A whisper, very faint, very close. He opened his eyes, staring at the ceiling. The whispering stopped. He listened carefully, his heart thudding. After a moment of silence, he sighed, telling himself it was just his imagination. Travel fatigue, nothing more. He turned on his side, pulled the blanket tighter, and shut his eyes again. The whisper returned, this time clearer. Words he couldn't understand, spoken quickly, almost like a warning. It was coming from near the desk, or the mirror. Samir sat up abruptly, turning on the lamp. The room looked the same, empty, still, ordinary. The mirror reflected the glow of the lamp, showing only his tired face and the bed behind him. He got up, walked to the door, and opened it. The corridor stretched into silence. No footsteps, no voices, just the dim bulbs flickering slightly. "Old building," he muttered, forcing a laugh. "Pipes, wood, who knows?" He shut the door, switched off the lamp, and lay back down. The whisper returned immediately, louder, inside the room this time. His eyes darted to the mirror. Something was wrong. The reflection of the room looked darker than it should. The shadows seemed deeper, stretched unnaturally, and in the far corner of the mirror, by the bed, there was a figure. Samir's breath caught in his throat. He turned his head quickly to the real corner of the room. Nothing. Empty. But in the mirror, the shadow remained. Tall, thin, unmoving, and the whispering grew louder. as though the figure itself was speaking directly into his ear. Samir stumbled backward, knocking the lamp, his heart hammered in panic. The figure in the mirror tilted its head slightly, an unnatural, jerky motion. That was enough. He grabbed his bag without even zipping it, flung open the door, and bolted down the corridor. His footsteps thundered on the wooden floor, echoing in the silent house. He didn't look back, didn't dare. He rushed through the lobby. The desk was empty now. The old man was gone. The single lamp still glowed faintly, but the place felt colder. Samir burst outside into the rain, dashed to his car, and started the engine with trembling hands. The tires splashed mud as he sped down the hill, the guest house shrinking in his rearview mirror. He didn't stop driving until he reached the next town. By morning, he was drained, his clothes damp, his eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. He found a roadside cafe and ordered strong tea. Out of curiosity and unease, he asked the owner, "Do you know anything about that old guest house up on the hill? I stayed there last night. Strange place." The cafe owner froze, his face tightening. "That place?" he said slowly. "It's been closed for years. No one runs it anymore. The caretaker died a long time ago. Heart attack, right at the desk." Samir felt his skin crawl. "But I spoke to him. He gave me a key. Room 7. The owner shook his head, uneasy. "People say travelers still see him sometimes, handing out keys, but they're better off not staying." Samir's hand trembled as he reached into his pocket. He hadn't realized it until now, but the brass key was still there, heavy and cold against his palm. He set it on the table. The number 7 was carved deeply into the metal. The cafe owner stared at it for a long moment, then pushed it back toward Samir. "Keep it," he said softly. "Some doors, once opened, never really close again.